So we were talking about the border a little bit here this morning because we will have both President Joe Biden and Donald Trump who will be visiting the border today. Donald Trump's going to Eagle Pass, Texas. Joe Biden will be, I think about 300 miles away in Brownsville. And I got a great email from Justin. He said, I'm listening to you past 7 a.m. for the first time, and I'm loving the discussion. And he said, I just saw this tweet, and it's a tweet from Bill Melugin at Fox News. And he said, and this is per sources at Customs Border Patrol, internal data reveals the stark difference in activity in the two border locations that Trump and Biden will visit today. Over the last 5 days, Border Patrol in Eagle Pass has apprehended over 2,000 illegal immigrants. In Brownsville, only 46. And then it breaks it down by day. Eagle Pass, February 24th. Eagle Pass, 500. We're talking apprehensions. 500. Brownsville, 6. Next day, Eagle Pass, 558. Next day, Brownsville, 12. Or same day, Brownsville, 12. And this just goes on. February 26th, in Eagle Pass, 563 apprehensions. Same day, Brownsville, 0. None. So, Justin, that's a great email. Great information from Bill Melugin at Fox News. Thank you so much, Justin. And Justin also said that he was listening past 7 a.m. for the first time. And I understand that, folks are busy. You're busy. Your life is busy. You got things going on. Generally, people can't listen the entire day. That's one of the reasons why we ask, hey, if you want to hear the whole broadcast, listen to my podcasts. We podcast the entire show every day. So the entire thing is podcast. So I understand that, events of the morning may keep you away from the radio, but if you get a moments later on, you're on the road, maybe even driving across town, listen to our podcast. And you can catch the things then that maybe you had missed during the time you listen. And that's not the fault of it. You're busy, especially mornings are just incredibly busy for people. Totally understood. That's why we're always talking about the Greg Belford Show podcast. You can listen at your convenience, and you can catch the whole show. I didn't learn this until yesterday. I must admit, I didn't hear this until yesterday. And I found it a little bit shocking. Do you know that Fani Willis, when she was on the stand, she's the Fulton County DA going after Donald Trump, and now I'm not on social media much. I really am not. When I am on social media, I'm engaging with you. Those of you who follow me on Facebook. So I'm engaging with you on social media. I love responding and have some great interactions going on there. I love that, both on the phones and on social media, my interactions with you. That's a big part of the enjoyment that I get from this job, very honestly. I love chatting with you, visiting with you. So, but I had no idea that Fani Willis was wearing her dress backward. Did you know that? That she was wearing it backwards. And it had and you see the photos where the zipper is right in the front. And then I saw yesterday, because I thought, man, I just must be stupid. I follow a lot of news, and that may be true anyway. But I follow a lot of news every day, right? So, and I'm on this, I print out so many stories, and there are a number of them that I don't have a chance to get to. Large majority that we touch on, at least, even if briefly, but we run down all the big stories, all the trending stories. And so there are a lot of stories every day. I never saw this until yesterday. And so then I asked my girlfriend, Katie, Katie, were you aware of this? Because one of the things I really appreciate about her is she makes sure when she sees something that she knows will be of interest to me, she makes sure that she puts it in front of me. She will send it to, did you see this? And I don't know, probably about 7 times out of 10, I say, yeah, I did see that. But those few times I go, no, didn't see that. And so I asked her, did you see this? And she goes, no, I had no idea. So then we started looking up the stories. Then yesterday afternoon, I'm like, this is just crazy. So she's wearing her dress backward. Now, and some are saying, oh, it's a psyops operation and whatnot. And I'm like, really? Or is it just idiocy? Because, is it just idiocy? I'm not sure. You'd like to, because a psyops operation then would say, oh, this is real deep state kind of, right? This is real deep state kind of stuff. Really? Do you give these people that much credit? You have got to be kidding. Do not give them that much credit. She's wearing her dress backwards. So, and then I watched some of the videos then, and they're showing them the dress that she is wearing. They're showing it as it's being sold then on website, model wearing the dress and the model wearing it the other way around. So Fannie Willis was wearing the dress backwards. So if you see somebody wearing their clothes backwards, what do you draw conclusions about the level of intelligence of that person? Because I have done this at times, and not my shirt but generally for me it's a T-shirt. I'll put a T-shirt on, and then after a while I go, this doesn't feel right. And then I take a look. Oh, no wonder. It's on backwards. But wearing your dress backward when you're at court, wouldn't that be a time that wouldn't you look in the mirror and make sure you wearing your dress backwards? I just find that so funny. I hope you do too. I just find it absolutely funny. All right, let's get back to the real news. Democrats are according to the Washington Examiner, several Democrats expressed outrage over the Supreme Court's decision to hear Donald Trump's claims of immunity. That's a big story this morning. So Democratic politicians and commentators denounced the Supreme Court's decision to take up the question over presidential immunity. And let's start with the tamest of the responses from Nancy Pelosi, who said the Supreme Court is placing itself on trial with its decision to hear the former president's total immunity claim, she says. It remains to be seen whether the justices will uphold the fundamental American value that no one is above the law, not even the former president. Okay, now that makes me want to laugh out loud. I mean, seriously. whether the Nancy Pelosi, of all people, pointing at the Supreme Court and accusing whether the Supreme Court is going to uphold these fundamental American values. Oh, you have got to be kidding. Imagine the level of your own self-worth that you must feel to make a statement like that. That is just incredible. I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. That is just too rich. Now, the minds over at the Daily Beast, it's a leftist publication, the Daily Beast, they're nuts over there, right? If you didn't know that, you will, I think, shortly. The one columnist said this decision, and the Supreme Court saying they would hear it, fundamentally corrupt. Said, let's not beat around the bush. The decision by the Supreme Court to hear the Trump immunity case is outrageous and at its heart fundamentally corrupt. The appeals court decision was bulletproof. Well, apparently it wasn't. Apparently it wasn't. The appeal, I love it when the left is melting down. I really do. You know, there are a lot of things that you can't be happy about today. You know, whether it's the border, whether it's the lies, whether it's, you know, prices and inflation, and not a lot for us to be happy about. So I take a lot of pleasure when the left is melting down. That's free entertainment. That's free entertainment. So this columnist said the appeals court decision was bulletproof and there is no case Trump has any sort of immunity. Really, are you you're a lawyer, are you? You're a Supreme Court justice? You can make that decision as to whether. And that's not even the worst of it. There was a contributor to Daily Beast who said, you know, why are we seeing this happen? I'm going to go with because they're corrupt as bought and paid for Christo-fascist traitors, she wrote on X. That's where the level of dialogue is at on X. It's one of the reasons why I don't spend a lot of time on social media in general. That's where the level of dialogue is. Christo-fascists. And then over at MSNBC, it was just as bad. Chris Hayes and Rachel Maddow, then they were up in arms about it. And you got to, I find that, again, grab a bag of popcorn, watch the meltdown. Oh, it's just absolutely incredible. The reaction. Daily Beast. Give me a break. Daily Beast. Ugh. All right. Other big stories this morning. An Illinois judge has removed Donald Trump now from that state's ballot. Third state to pull Trump from the ballot. Colorado, of course, was the first, and the Supreme Court hearing that case, or will make a decision in that case. But an Illinois judge announced late yesterday that Donald Trump being removed from the ballot, insurrection. So and this is what's, I think, really notable. Pay attention. Because she gave the order yesterday and urged the Illinois State Board of Elections to remove Trump or cause any votes cast for him to be suppressed. That word suppression, get used to that. I think that's something we're going to see a lot of. I think that is another indicator of bad times ahead for Americans, where votes being suppressed. They don't want there are any votes. No, we can't have Donald Trump getting. We got to suppress those votes. That's really extremely troubling when you hear those kinds of things, and this whole thing, the legality of this is just it's just a joke. All of us who watched what happened that day on January 6, 2021, those of us who watched it, I think especially for those of us who covered it, Donald Trump was not out there citing insurrection. He was not encouraging people to, go overthrow the government. Absolutely nothing like that. Nothing even close to that. And so you watch that just unfold, and it's just absolutely incredible. One of the other things we've talked about this week is the case of Lincoln Riley and her murder. And did you see yesterday the mayor of that community? He's a Democrat, and he delivered remarks yesterday, about a week then after the event. So remember, she was killed by this illegal immigrant from Venezuela who attacked Riley then. And it got protesters were there, and they interrupted him. He tried to dismiss the notion that they're a sanctuary city, Athens, Georgia, not a sanctuary city. He's trying to dismiss that. And there was a man who stood up and shouted at the mayor repeatedly. And he said, "You're a liar. You're the one who is guilty, got blood on your hands for this murder, sir." And there were other protesters then at the back of the room. They were holding signs that read, "Blood on your hands, make Athens safe again." And he said, there's been no legislation from this government that's created sanctuary city status, and folks just would not take it. And they responded pretty forcefully. And then at one point he tried to blame it on Donald Trump, this mayor of Athens, Georgia. He tried to blame it on Trump. And the audience would not have any of that. So they were just shouting him down right in the midst of this. A lot of anger in regard to this. Then I see Fox News has, in fact, if you want more details on the mayor being heckled, New York Post has got great coverage on this. This guy shouting up, "You're a liar. You're the one who is guilty." And this goes beyond just the mayor. The county sheriff. This is the Athens Clarke County Sheriff. He campaigned on the issue of not cooperating with ICE, and he blamed ICE. And so now his comments are coming to really bite him in the ass, because he was saying that he was talking about, "I see it as the sheriff's responsibility to protect the community. We can't help with a culture of fear in our community and expect our community to respond and help us with situations. And so he said he would not contribute to that culture of fear. He said. He was talking about people being in the country illegally and that he didn't want to. So now, not only is the mayor getting caught up in this and some of his comments and his positions, now the sheriff is, and it's all because of the death of this young woman and the Venezuelan immigrant then who is facing charges as a result, who was in the country illegally. So I think we are going to see an incredible amount of fallout continue from that story as well.